Hello, gamer. How's it going? I... Hell yeah. I slept well today. Yesterday I was a bit tired because Gijs woke me up at like 6 a.m. And then I couldn't fall asleep afterwards. But I slept nice and late today, so I am enjoying that. And also, um, yeah, I made up for it. And also, I know I had a shit ass job interview yesterday, but I had a really good one today, and I'm gonna be in a month or hopefully sooner. I'm gonna be a cashier at a swimming pool for a little bit while I look for something else. So, yeah, thank you. I am looking forward to it big time. So today, made up for yesterday. So, I don't know why there's just no music at all right now. I guess it's just a dramatic story point. Um, as for a little recap of what you missed yesterday, let me actually teleport there so I can show you. Let's switch over to the live screen. We beat the Garleans. We found an abandoned settlement, named it Camp Broken Glass. And then we started looking around for people. And we saw a girl in a green dress. And so we followed her to an old house. Victor's Spoils, an old like retirement home for soldiers. And then she was like, hey, why don't you get some ceruleum for us to help us? Because they didn't believe we were there to help them. They believed we were there to take revenge on the Garlean people. And then they were like, oh yeah, to earn our trust, go get some ceruleum. And so we went there, and the people there were all like people who had been forced to go there and work. And they were like, you know, don't give anything to them because they must be hiding some food. And when we told them like no, they really don't have anything, then they were like, okay, just take this bottle of ceruleum to them. And then when we got back, we found that Elfino had been ambushed by 3 of the Guardians, and that the girl and her sick younger sister had run off, and that they did that because they are still afraid. They're afraid we're gonna corrupt them with magic. So, this really is Depression the Zone. And he's okay. He's alright. Are you okay? I will follow as soon as I can. After I've given them some basic treatment, I'll take the men inside the house and use this light sleeping enchantment to help them rest and ensure they don't cause any more trouble. I'm sorry, but this is something I must do. Yeah. What do you have to say for yourself? Rob us of our lands, rob us of our pride. No, no, I will not allow it. Better to die free than live in servitude and shame. The girls would say the same. Yeah, you'd say that, but we're here to help. But they don't believe us. which is a shame. So now we're going to go out into the ice fields to look for the girls. Two sets of footprints, young women judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. We gotta find them! Come on, come on, come on. Finally some music. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place. It's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphino's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. Alright. Looking for clues. Aha, fresh blood. Always a good sign. The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southeastwards. Oh yeah, her name is Licinia. Oh no. The two bodies are already cold. Oh yeah, and they have radios in Garlemald.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why? Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have...
Don't blame yourself, Alfie.
We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold. I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
Sorry if you hear any noise. My neighbor decided that now was the perfect time to do some construction work. Also, I will note what Alphino says is the exact same thing that Iselle once said. She wanted peace so that no more children would be left to freeze in the snow. My baby boy. Oh good, but if you hear any rumblings, then you know what that is. There must have been something we could have done, but what? Should we never have come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? They might have starved to death. Froze to death anyway. We've already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is to make our report to Lucia and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. Man. Ugh. Hate these benches. Their noises are so gross. Veronica, comfort me. Alize and Alphino tell me they've finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrain from saying much more than that. Me too. Those whale calls, man. They're healing. Clearly, they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask for your account? Sure.
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Popularis, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it.
I think I told a little fib last time. I said that Nerva was Xenos' cousin. It's actually his so Nerva's father, Titus, is Varus's uncle, and Nerva is his son. So would be Varus's cousin, not Xenos' cousin. There's too many names. But I don't know what that would be. What is your dad's cousin to you? I don't know. Cousin once removed or something? It's too complicated. Okay, so yeah, I guess cousin something. But yeah. So, anyway, let's continue the scene.
Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the 3rd Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvus is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the 1st Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory. And that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the 3rd Legion's coffers, but the 1st as well.
It would seem so. Though the Popularis determined that the 1st Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, All had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varys giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varys spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who's this guy?
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe.
Welcome, Faith.
Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this.
Little update on, I don't know if you were watching from the start of the stream, but the girls, they did. Now we're doing something else.
Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours. or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
Your babies!
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
You feel guilty, I get it. What would your mother say if I let you 2 go by yourselves?
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
Yeah.
A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
Hee hee hee.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
Okay. Do this. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else. Remember this. Thancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. I do like that. Just a second ago, he was captured and now he's acting like Big Dick back in town. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead. I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alize and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Dweshe. Dweshe? Where have I heard that before? Oh no. No matter. Alphino and Alize will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Ready to make the dash for the station? Okay. Whee! Let's go, let's go! Run, run, run! Why are you going right through that bear? Jealous. More like Jewelless. He can't vape. I gotta go. Hey guy. This is it. The first stop, that is. Oh, yawn. Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas. Or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given a chance. Keep close, no wandering off. Understood? From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen. Aye, they spare their own but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. Honey, you got a big storm coming. I could blow this little man away without even a second thought. Pop! Thanks for the help, bro. I see why your comrades chose you. Gillis, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or... Stop yawning. Tempered, as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Yes! Kill! Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. Oh, you finally did something. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. Oh, wait. Tempered soldiers. Ew. Well, he is relatively high ranking in the Garlean military, so I'm pretty sure he has killed people, but also he is well, it could be that he was just like ascended to that because everyone else died. So I don't know. He seems kind of young. I wonder how old he is. Hey dude. Look at what they've become. Would you still stand there and claim they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. You're not listening. Sir, they just said that other people can be cured if they're not as corrupted. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, and so I will keep mine. This way. This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. You okay? They're not doing too hot. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Gillis was willing to make the Perlos' journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive over there. They have trains. Like the Industrial Revolution over here.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Vankina, Legatus of the First Legion.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our Emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this.
I know, right? It's really like... But we had to do it. It's like, okay. They had me up to a point. Like, it's true, they were chased out of their native homeland, and it's true that they got stuck here in a shithole of being cold. but also, you colonize people. You could have just stayed. Or you could have just reclaimed your homeland and keep it at that. You didn't have to conquer the entirety of Ilsabard and then everything else. But yeah, all of these people are just majorly brainwashed into believing that. Come on now!
We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit.
Yes, they did.
If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat.
Nope.
And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that.
Yep, exactly.
What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it?
She's perfect.
Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Ooh, I have some thoughts on this.
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald?
You're so stupid!
Is it because we do not share your faith? That
Nope.
we do not share your heritage?
'Cause you conquer people!
That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not?
Your hair's clipping into your third eye.
Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope.
We know best.
It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter.
Okay.
You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you, if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
I'm getting some Fallout New Vegas vibes over here. Guy who has only played Fallout New Vegas, where you get a bomb collar strapped to you. Or more than one occasion.
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed.
Yes!
Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
Most unrealistic part of this expansion is that if they brought those shock collars out, Josh, I would have blown away everyone in that room at that instant. Let me kick their ass.
You needn't worry about us.
I
We'll
am!
forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
You suck.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
You're not listening. Absolutely. On the coals' blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. Little Archie. Flashback.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
I could have just killed that guy. That's okay. We're doing morality here. Hello, sir. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish you didn't. Absolutely. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside of the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. You bet your bippy. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Alice will pay the price. Oh, baby, you got a big storm coming. I'll tell you what. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. Thank you. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. Orange Julius. Ah, this blue Julius is really so bitter. So cold. This young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. It's you, Duache Mumafo. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers. You killed them, my comrades, my friends. Swept them aside in their dozens as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Okay. Like, would I feel bad? I guess it's kind of commentary on, like, you kill a lot of people as the Warrior of Light. But also, ma'am, you were part of an invading force. You don't get to cry about being killed. Talk shit, got hit, as they say. I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Ugh. Damn, tore the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Vergilia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then... Night fell and we gathered around the radio. Then a roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact but body broken, a soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could. Murderer. The radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Like, I do feel bad for, like, the regular people here. Did you learn anything of note? Like the conscripts and stuff, because they literally had no choice. Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Yeah. And, you know, as so often with fasci governments, it really is also their people who suffer under them. They don't give a shit about their own people. Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Ah, thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. Man. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Jullus could persuade him, though we'd need to persuade Jullus first. Hello, sir. Well, seen enough? Jullus, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside, until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees, or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. You're so stupid! If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. Those mysterious countrymen of yours, I assume? Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telophoroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We'd identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions, to prepare for a combined assault on the Telophoroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. He's gonna say no. So, did he agree to it? No. He will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. He's such a loyal little lapdog. Grow up. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You lot are more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. We will begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Soleus, a park to the northwest of this station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. No! Poor Prisma! It's good. Enjoy your campaign. That's the biggest thing. Just means you love it. Brain rot is a love language. Love language. Did I say that right? I think so. Alright. I was like, I said it and then I was like, wait, did I actually finish the word or did I just say gooch? So, this is the park. I'm surprised they found the space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were built later around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the Empire, the great Solus Zosgalphus. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then, with your permission, we will commence the search. Yahoo! Though rather small by Guardian standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant's stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at shopkeeper. There's nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other devices that would be fueled by ceruleum. Yeah. I do like, you know, there's something to be said for humanizing the Guardians a little bit, because up until this point we've only seen soldiers and not just regular people. So I do like it, even though Quintus is a fucking idiot. Oh yeah, I used to have stuff like that when I was a kid. It was awesome. Like me charging $100 for a tomato. The contraption is built in the style of Imperial war machina armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations. But on closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide. Oh, that's awesome. A cursory inspection of the wrecked machina Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum, as Julius said. Several points of interest are marked on the map of Swarm Soleus. The pond, the children's play areas. To your knowledge, however, none would require the use of ceruleum. That's awesome. Oh, it's you. Any luck? Sorry. ASMR time. Sure, no worries. There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes, I mean, no, It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done. Every time. And every time when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. With a ceruleum-powered heater by any chance? I suppose it must have been. Come to think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath the hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Julius, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of their skin if they saw it. But the first has a few foreign signiferi and medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. That tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake like how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane. So, fancy a dip? Of course. I love this response. I'm not gonna pick it, but step aside while I drink the pond dry. That way we'll find it in no time. I love that response. A little friendly competition might make things interesting. Last one to find a cerulean tank is a rotten egg. Though I dare say we'll both smell like rotten eggs when this is over. Yuck. Slop, slop, sloppin'. You delve into the murky water but come up empty-handed. To add injury to insult, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. No! That's the same. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle. Gimme, gimme! Yay! You open the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank. It's freezing fucking cold. However, your grand discovery comes at great personal cost, as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and rancid odor emanating from every ilm of your body. Julius will doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver him your prize. Too bad. Cry about it, Julius. I'm stinky, but I have your cerulean tank. Don't whine about it. Did you find anything? Oh, I hope you did. Here you go. That's it. There's still some ceruleum left. Ah, the fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphino a hand. Call me an old on, because by fire I am reborn. And my clothes are mostly dry now too. Being stinky keeps the beasts away. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire, awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the streets, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faintest sound of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite, the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Grey clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb on to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble. Those friends are dead, and those memories... But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had... Soon, our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. I have a feeling you're gonna be holding on a little longer for a while. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that look took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you to stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering, though, you should check the Machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading, even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. We're beginning to build some trust here. Understood. Let's get to work. Whee! This one's empty. It's broken. Welcome back. Empty. Broken. Well, let's try it on a broken one. You retrieve the War Machina's ceruleum tank to find it is still half full, or half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Jules will surely be pleased by your discovery. Yay. Yeah, I know, right? More explosives. Wait, is that what I think it is? Another tank, dude. You've done it again! Truly, luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go and see how Alizé and Alphino are faring. Okay, let's wait here. Nothing will go wrong. That bar filling up, nothing will go wrong.
finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we?
Tancred!
Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for.
I am enjoying the visual of Tancred being invisible but still having to stand on his tippy toes to be able to, like, whisper in Dwashe's ear.
Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
Gonna get your trump card, bro. Thank you, Tancred.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ooh, him and Urianger, T for T couple? Absolutely.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all what I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty,
funny.
I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
Whoop, there it is.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
You don't care.
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
All I heard was explode and die.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
Means they're gonna do something stupid.
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Eula spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alize are to stay here, as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
Short-term thinking. Do it, bitch, you won't.
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Everything will be alright. Have faith. I don't want to leave them here.
Get them out of here.
I hope you feel bad, Julius. Alphino and Alize will be fine, provided they do not resist. Okay. You will accompany me back to your camp, where I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. The task falls to Legionaries Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the eel for further details, in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. Oh, interesting. So, today I was, like, reading up on the titles that are used, by, Guardians, and apparently Eel is the title of the, dictator when they still had that system, like, wartime dictator. So, that's, concerning. You again. Ask the eel, he said. So that's to be the way of it. After all this... However, ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Garlemald. Yep. It's actually pretty, like, neat. I like the titles. I like reading about them. There's a lot of lore. What do you want with me? Ask the eel. So Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand. That he would recognize the person is a ruthless, merciless creature. And to defeat him, we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. Very promising. Very, very promising. Have you done as instructed? What do you mean by ask the eel? I'm not at liberty to divulge that. What I can say is this. You have no cause for concern if our demands are met. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There's one other matter. A place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. Oh, baby. I don't like having to leave the twins behind, but this plot point also leads to an upcoming cutscene that is one of the best in the expansion, I think. Julius lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Yeah, I'll let you know when it happens. I think this might be it, but I'm not sure. Don't remember exactly when it happens.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was, until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped.
That's rough, man.
I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here?
Your memories, man.
If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us?
sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
No wonder he doesn't want to think about a cure, because, you know, that means his family could have been saved. Oh, yeah, here it is.
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But she wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
This is my favorite scene. Man.
It's so cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum.
Absolutely.
Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos. Searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics, to see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alisaie.
I love them so much. Who's that guy? Oh.
The scouts have secured Alisaie and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed.
Hmm.
I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
You're so stupid!
Ambush!
Yeah, that's what the Cerulean were for.
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return!
Kill him.
Stop, both of you!
both of you! He started it! Put some pants on.
This child may be the worst emissary I've ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies. Every word.
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
It's not coming.
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity.
Shut up.
I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared.
Just a little warning, he's
A
going
world
to
united,
take the
peace
classic
and
Fasci
prosperity.
way out if you are sensitive to that.
We are ghosts, you and I. Memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
Oh, Alize.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Yep, you guessed it. The gate is down. Me too. Man. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. He did. Ah! Awesome. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. Not great. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry? A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic. But perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Julius back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphino, Alisaie, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I will also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. This shit sucks, bro. Not in a bad story way, but just in a way, you know? It's rough out here. Absolutely. Can't you believe the story's gonna get even crazier from here? How are we feeling on the time, by the way? Do you think we have time to go a little bit long today, or would you prefer just normal time? Because I don't know how long this is gonna take to get... Okay, awesome. Woo! Then we will probably get to the really crazy stuff today. Woo! 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 Tweshe and Julius. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the tent, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... Cry more about it. No. No, he wouldn't. Oh, I just noticed this background character. What a pretty elf. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. Thank you. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free, free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transit of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any of you would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over to them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see that they reach our camp safely. I know you've been through a lot, man. But also, don't be too sad over that guy. He would have gladly left you all to freeze to death if it meant keeping his quote-unquote honor. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me. Take me with you, please. Well, got the Aetherites sorted out in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterm is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Arianje helping out. Ah, it's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, other people. After a while the words start to lose meaning. Until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. And if you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. I know, right? I don't want to say that word because I know it makes you uncomfortable, and it's always just like, I have to think for a second, like, what do I say now? We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. Yeah, it's a small little thing. I hope my blurring out by yelling into the mic has also been going well since I synced it differently. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our elements and friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Yeah, I still kind of want to get, like, a keybind that makes, like, a weird noise to censor it out, but at this point we're so far into the playthrough that might not be worth it. Just like a duck sound or whatever, you know? Just something funny. But I am thinking about maybe also doing a replaying of A Realm Reborn. But that is super fucking long. Yeah, yeah! Oh, that's perfect. I love that. should really take out my Chucky bow. Might go faster that way. Or oh, I know a good one. The sound of Ilbert saying sloppy. Such a meme. Oh, wait. Yours are all so good. I wonder if you could set it up like two-player random sound and like have them all on like a cycle. It's like, wow. No threats ahead. Yeah, little postmaster hat. It was from the Valentine's event. I still need to do all the Moogle delivery quests, so I get a similar hat. I want it, but it's so long. But I have done more than that for some glam. I can't show it to you here, but I went through a whole 20 quest quest line just for a cool coat. Thancred! Where are you? There you are. Just kept missing you. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The Temperate proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I am to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. Yeah, as much as I was like, Thancred, what are you doing? During Shadowbringers, I really like Thancred. Ah, Dwyshe. I was informed of Quintus's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What of the refugees? I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees. What the fuck is that word? Perfidy? Notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. Perfidy. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legatus, and that following his suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. I think it's the latter. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. Pluck him, right? Coward. Oh boy! Hey, here we are. The Bonkers Quest. Let's go. This is where they really kick the shit into high gear. I assume you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. I've been sipping tea, but thank you for the reminder. I will do a little stretch. Do a little stretch with me. Ow, I hit my hand on my ceiling fan. Ugh. That's what I get for standing up. Ugh. Give him a little shake. Ah, my hands, I mean. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much needed warmth. Furthermore, we've prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask you to seek out Y'shtola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she is. Y'shtola! Not working yourself to the bone, I hope. Yes, I've been taking proper breaks and imbibing sufficient water. But what of the warrior of light? You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. Says Miss I cast Flow twice. We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with, between the tempered and the first wounded. Fair enough. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll their experiences have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter to get altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver. But nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing invite disaster. Upon settling down for supper, several cutscenes will play in sequence. That's always exciting. Yet, set aside sufficient time. You love it, don't you? Movie time. I didn't think we'd get through this today. I'm excited. Yes, Lisa in the background, I love you. Please. You always know the best shit's about to happen.
Is that all of them?
The people from the mansion.
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Soup time! What kind of soup do you want? I want my homemade tomato soup.
Warmth. At last.
Yeah.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Leminson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you, you lily-livered bilge rat.
Yes! Kill!
Take that back!
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here. At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it.
People ship those two big time.
I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
Mmm. It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
Keep an eye on him.
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea. The Ilsabard contingent. We owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter.
As do I. She would look so good with a buzz cut, holy shit.
I'm honored to fight by your side. As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
I'm not saying anything.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
You love it. You love to see it. Oh, oh, oh! New flower color! Oh wait, I think... No, we haven't seen blue before. Oh yeah, we have. With Nadana, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
On behalf of the Guardian Empire, thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varys?
They are being tempered. The talismans. Quickly!
Save me, brave hero!
Hello? You
My
little
lord
fucker!
has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
No! When I tell you this, the first time I saw this cutscene, I screamed.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken.
you know, just a casual little
Good
dinner
morrow
date.
to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet.
His butler
Take
outfit!
a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh.
This is still so fucked. Uh-oh.
So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo.
Yeah, and we killed him.
His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
Give me back my body!
And permit you to go on a righteous rampage instead of partaking in this delicious meal? I think not. I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate.
There's a number of other ways you could have phrased that, sir.
Ah, exposition is in order.
Thanks.
The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Zosgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima.
This is so fucked.
It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery.
Love.
Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone.
This is so fucked.
At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost her appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions.
It's certainly
While
been...
my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascian, I too claimed another's as my own.
Little dramatic lighting,
It was
love
an
it.
enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Or together.
Absolutely.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak.
Oh my god.
We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity.
Sorry, I am a Xenos enjoyer. I love him, but also this is so fucked. But people who uncritically enjoy him are a little weird, yeah. Who try to...
There it is. Your camp, I believe.
Again, whitewash the shit he does. This is fucked up.
If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making her way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy.
Little fucker.
Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue. Tempered soldiers, withstanding orders to kill those not sworn to Anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
This is so scary, but I'm gonna do it on very easy, so it might not be as scary. Unknown Imperial. In the coming battle, you will fight as Unknown Imperial. Time to familiarize yourself with that new body. Might I suggest a little fight to the death? Oh, look at that.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
Shut up. The Tempered Imperial has breathed his last. Inspect. The unfortunate soldier was carrying a medical kit. Okay. What do I do? Pay your respects. Okay. We gotta go. Yeah, we have no auto healing and our damage is shit. So this is what it's like being a normal person in this world. This Magitech Reaper's fighting days are over. However, you find a medical kit in the cockpit. In the penis pit? For realsies? Deceased Imperial. Medical kit? Sorry, I'm nervous. I can't be normal. More medical kits. Yep. The Warrior of Light is just extraordinarily strong. I don't remember where to go. Let me just find my bearings. Yeah, like, we really are a freak of nature, honestly. Like, compared to most people. Yeah. Aw, I love you for that. This Matchstick Reaper's legs has been damaged, but the weaponry should still function. You may be able to clear a path if you can find the identification key and fuel. Okay, well, we saw fuel on the way here. Ooh. Stay away, you beast. Fuel concealing wreckage. We won't be afraid to forge ahead. Psst! Over here! I'm inside this building. Come quick! Hello? Hello. You've not been turned. Thank goodness. I thought I was the only one left. Ah, the bastards got my hand when they took down my Matchstick Reaper. If you can repair its leg, though, it should still work. Here, take this key. If I had the use of my hand, I might have stood a chance out there. Please, send help if you can. Wouldn't count on it. Ah! Let's go! Like a shooting gallery, bro! Disembark and proceed to Camp Broken Glass. Let's go, let's go! Now! You there! Please help us! Ow! You're one of us, right? We need your help. Come here! I'm helping them! What's that? What was that voice? They found us! Get ready! Ah. Trying to help me. Ah! It's going to explode. Get behind the armor. Ah! Everybody dead. Unable to escape the blast, you begin to lose consciousness. Cling to life, cling to life, cling to life! Ah! You crawl to safety and regain consciousness. With the last of your strength, crawl to Camp Broken Glass. This is so fucked! Yeah, like, it's that I played this on very easy, but it's actually pretty hard if you just play this on the normal difficulty. It really is. Come on, crawl. We can get there. We can make it.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna, and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Euless? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw her leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
I got teleported.
While I know full well she can handle herself, I worry all the same.
Catboy ears.
Speak of the devil.
Scenes that make you want to scream, no!
Well, time to call off the search.
Case closed.
That's her, over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive her presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But...
Y'shtola knows what's up.
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now. All's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Who are you?
They're not stupid either. Woohoo! Get away from them, you bastard! You ever just tackle yourself? No, headache.
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go. But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I've yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them, heedless of the delay, predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether, and then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days!
Love it! Me too!
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake.
Okay, theater kid.
All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
Splat.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Oh, man.
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness. She's awake.
I love you guys. Is everyone all right?
Perfectly fine, yes. I hope the same can be said of you.
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Oh boy! No rest for the righteous. about that, huh? You're certain you're well? Nothing out of place? No missing bits? Good. Though I won't promise the same for Fandaniel and Xenos after I'm through with them. How much must these people suffer before they're satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must they play? Prelude to the final days or no, this ends now. Wah! Are you well enough to make your report? No. I think Dwashe might need some Thancred therapy. They can bond over the fact that they were both possessed. This anima was summoned with the corpse of Emperor Varys. Does their depravity know no bounds? Oh yeah, remember in the Tower of Zot where Yashtoda was like, oh no, there's a person's limb in here? Yep. It seems not. More to the point, we can surmise that wave of ether issued not from the Tower of Babel, but from the primal lurking within. A primal whose cry rang rather more loudly in your ears than ours. If you were taken to the tower itself, then this proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is the beating heart of the Telofroy's machinations. In which case, we have some highly relevant information. As many of you know, ever since we dispatched troops to free the Leviers, we have been developing a plan to infiltrate the tower. According to Thancred and his scouts, the main structure is lousy with tempered and enemy magitech. Furthermore, the road leading to it has collapsed, making it difficult to approach in numbers. Thus do we propose dividing our forces into two parties, one to distract and one to infiltrate. The diversionary force will be comprised of the Ishgardian, Gridanian, and Lominsan delegations. They will begin the construction of bridges to make the Telofroi believe we are marching upon the tower. Meanwhile, the best suited of our Alamegan, Uldan, and Eastern comrades will use a different method of ingress. Look here. The facility marked in red is the Enceladium, a vast magitech manufactory. In ruins now, of course. But the freight tunnel connecting it to the erstwhile Imperial Palace remains intact. While the Telofroi's attention is elsewhere, our infiltration force can use it to enter the tower undetected. Be aware, however, that the underground rail network remains very much operational. The Tempered are using it to bring supplies to the tower even now. If it can carry their material, it can carry us too, provided we sneak aboard unseen. The Scions will lead the infiltration party. Once inside, you must locate and dispatch Fandaniel and Xenos. It's time we ended this, once and for all. Aye, there will be no more casualties of the Telefroy's maniacal ambition. How quickly can we enact this plan? Van Daniel made it quite clear that haste is a priority. Of paramount concern even, assuming he didn't name the tower Babel on a whim. In Amon's time, it meant gateway of the gods. Zande used it to refer to a void gate, but in this case, it almost certainly alludes to something altogether greater. The eldest and most powerful of primals. All the more reason to act now. The rest of the contingent is aware of the plan, and are ready to move at a moment's notice. You are to proceed north to Forum Patens. Lisa's group will meet you there. As ever, we are grateful for your foresight. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Spare no effort in your preparations. Yay! I don't know if we're gonna need the extra half an hour. There's a dungeon coming up and I'm not gonna still do it because there's a bunch of cutscenes after it. So we'll just do everything up until the dungeon and then finish up for today. Yahoo! Please! Put your coat back on! What are you doing? Dweshe, the way into the tunnel is clear. We've made sure of it. Then we'd best get in there before we freeze. Especially you. Oh, the shoe will be on the other foot once we're in, believe you me. A good fight should warm us right up. Barely enough cloth to swaddle a newborn. Clearly, you have spent too long around this feral dog of a Dothal. Watch your tongue, fool, lest I feed it to the crows. We will see who is the fool when you freeze to death. Expect me not to warm your ill-prepared hide. These furs are for myself and my Nama alone. Should I be blessed to meet her this day. As if any woman of worth would wish to be worn by you, little son. Should we find such a warrior within, she will bask in my glorious flame. Wow! Stop, both of you! Save your fire for the enemy. As for extra furs, I have plenty to spare. As do we. Yes! Kill! Put your clothes back on. Hello, everyone. All set for battle, I see. Yes, free of unnecessary encumbrances, if rather more susceptible to the cold. Let us review our strategy, quickly if you don't mind. She's gay as hell. Pippin's group has gone ahead to the Enceladium. We are to meet them there. We wait until the Temperate's attention is drawn by our diversionary forces, then sneak onto the train. Next stop, the Tower of Babel. If any, tempered included, are injured, we Zayla will tend to them. You Scions must press on, no matter what. We should avoid moving as a group until we're underground, so we'll need to make our own ways to the Enceladium. See you there. Whee! Pippin! Hello, little sir. Hail! It's good to see you, Dwache. I just read that L as another exclamation point. I was just like, is he saying hi to me? Pippin! I imagined you as one of the girlies. We heard that you collapsed, but were given only the most cursory explanation. I'm glad you've recovered, and quickly enough to take part in the operation at that. As you will have heard, we've secured the way in. Some few are to remain behind to keep your escape route clear. Our comrades from Lente's Tears will lead the way into the station. I'll join you soon. Let me in. Let me in. The station is right this way. Tread lightly now. This is everyone. Consider the enemy well and truly distracted. Time to go. Our primary objective is, of course, the Telophroy's leaders. But should we be presented with an opportunity to vanquish Anima, we must seize it. If it is indeed the force behind the towers, destroying it will deliver our allies from the Telophroy's reign of terror. And I, for one, would not see the Garlean people manipulated any longer, be it by Primal, Ascian, or anything else. Hear, hear. There's been enough of that. We came to help the people of Garlemald, and that's what we're going to do. Together. Till the very end. The train should be along any moment now. Prepare to board, everyone. Everyone doing their gay little poses. The Tower of Babel is now accessible. Whoa! But we're gonna save that until next time. Because I'm tired and I don't have time for another half an hour and then more cutscenes after that. Yeah, great stream! Alright, let me go to stream ending. How about that, huh? They really, sometimes they really put the pedal to the metal. I'll give them that. Oh, man. What I loved about that dinner scene is all the flashbacks to all the terrible things that happened and just a realization like, oh no, he did all of that just to get me to get mad. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Either way, I love it. So yeah, great stream. I could potentially stream more this week, but I don't know if I want to do that after work, after a whole work day. So I'm just gonna say probably next Monday again. If that's alright for you. Perfect. Yeah. Alright. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me on this slightly longer stream. Good stream, good stream. And I hope you are excited for more craziness next time. So, thanks again for being here, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, goodbye.